So we've already stitched around curves, in curves. What about squares? Can you actually take the serger in and out of squares? Yes, you can. There are just a few little tricks. So first I want to show you, we did this on a rolled hem, but what about if you have a 4-thread overlock? And all of a sudden you come back and say, I have to finish this seam. You ran out of thread or something. It's very similar, and I'm just going to do it one more time. It's easier to see on this fabric. You put your needle in the up position, you lift the presser foot, pull the thread around to the front, because we're going to get rid of that, and you really want to line up your needle. I'm lining up the needle right there. So we're only going to go over one stitch. I'm cutting off the thread at the same time, and you're going to stitch down. You might have a little bit of thread that you have to trim off, but at least your seam on the inside of your clothes will just end up with this, and I can trim that off, maybe do a little dab of fray check. But that's how simple it is to start and stop a seam. Now what about squares? Here are a bunch for you. Okay, we're going to stitch and we're going to go on the inner side of the square. You have a few different options, and I'm going to show them all to you. Get all the way down, and I'm allowing the serger just to feed the fabric. And when I get to this corner, that point is about right here right now. I'm maneuvering the fabric. Notice how I'm sliding the fabric over myself. And I'm going to stitch. Put the needle in the up position, and see how nice that looks? We got around a corner, an inside corner. So many people think that you can't do that with a serger, but yes, you can. Now let's go down this way. We turned, went on the outside of the square, and I'm going to show you one more way. Let's get right to the end. The knife is right here, and I'm just going to slide it a little bit more this time, and slide it a little bit more, and then maneuver. Go to the end, lift up your needle, and slide back around. Look at how good that inside corner looks. So if you're doing a decorative stitch, even on a rolled hem or something like that, the technique would be the same. You notice how I held the fabric. I kind of maneuvered it like this, and then I folded it like this, and then I'm going to go around each corner. So it's just as easy to go around the outside corners as it is the inside corners. I'm just going to scale this off and give you a closer look. So if we were to set this down and press it, you notice there's a lot of stitches. If for some reason your fabric ends up puckering here, do it again, and this is what I was doing. I was literally molding the fabric into a straight line. You couldn't see it under the foot, but that's what I was doing. So the stitches are barely grabbing that inside curve. Then when I fold it back and I press it, we're good to go. Same with this one. I held it out. Now, if for some reason when you stitch, you push it too far and your stitch falls off, you might end up with a gap, which I've showed you in another episode how you can start and stop that stitch. The only other troubleshooting you have is we showed this at the end, how to get around the curves. If your stitches aren't looking good after all of that, then you're going to need to change the differential feed and some of the others. But that's how easy it is to get in and out of squares.